This is a question that many people struggle with, whether they are Christian or Jewish or agnostic or atheist. And that is, why am I here? What is my purpose? I know I exist, but why? The question of why. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers this question clearly in the Quran. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. That we have not created jinn and human beings except to fulfill ubudiyat to Allah, except to worship Allah, to know Allah, to love Allah, to enselve ourselves to Allah. That's the reason why we were created. And it's extremely important that we come back to that, because that is our purpose. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us perspective in this ayah. If that is my purpose, that's why I am here, that's why I exist. How do I do that? We live in a world that distracts us. We live in a world that even if we believe in this, something distracts us, right? Yes, it is very difficult to live with all distraction that we have. We tend to run after things of this life and become distracted from our ultimate purpose. And so I want to bring back that reminder of how is it that we can fulfill this purpose of our creation and reconnect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm gonna mention some points. Okay, the first is we have to love Allah most. There is this principle that governs human nature, right? We can become a slave to whatever we love most. Simple, yeah? You become a slave to whatever you love most. Every single human being has a master. Every single human being has a master. Whether that person believes in God or they don't, everyone has a master. Everyone has something that they enslave themselves to. Now the question is, what is your master? Again, now remember, everyone has a master. An atheist, an agnostic, a Christian, a Jew. But what is your master? And the answer is whatever you love most. So how does that work? Well, if you a person who loves money most, guess who your master is? Anyone? Money. You are a slave to money. If you are a person who loves power most, then guess power. In other words, you will do anything to get more money, or you will do anything to get more power. If you are a person who loves appearing a certain way in front of people, if you are a person who loves image most, if you are a person obsessed with this concept of what are people gonna say, what are people gonna think, then you are a slave to what? To what people think. You are actually a slave to what other people say. That is your master. So how does that So how does that look like? It looks like you'll do anything and not do anything based on what people are gonna say, what people are gonna think. You are a slave. So remember this, you always be a slave to whatever you love most. And that is why you have to be very careful. You should be careful what you love most. It is a simple concept, but it is extremely important. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَتَّخِذُ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ أَندَادًا يُحِبُّونَهُم كَحُبِّ اللَّهِ. There are people who takes as God. There are from among people who those who take rivals with Allah. Now, when you think about shirk, typically when we think shirk, we think praying to an idol, right?
Local dairy products are some of the highest.
Or saying that God is tree or has a son. This is shirk for sure. But in this ayah, it is Allah talking about a different type of rival that we take with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يُحِبُّونَهُمْ كَحُبِّ اللَّهِ. Love them as they should only love Allah. So Allah is telling us that there are people who are take rivals with Allah. How? Not because they are praying to another idol, not because they are taking something else and you are making dua to it, but because they love those rivals as they should only love Allah. So it is a kind of shirk. It is a kind of love other things. Be careful what you love most. Make sure that you love Allah most, more than your money, more than your career, more than your family, more than power, more than what other people think. That it is not about what other people are gonna say or what other people are gonna think or what does society say, but what's most important to you is what does Allah say. So this is love, and remember, you will always obey what you love most. سمعنا وأطعنا. You know someone you love says jump. What's your answer? How high? How it works? What's just? That's just how love works. You become a slave to what you love most, loving Allah most. The second point, remember Allah a lot. Remember Allah a lot. Dhikr. Here is the thing about remembrance. Here is the thing about remembrance. When you remember something a lot, it becomes bigger and more important to you, and when you forget about it, its significance diminishes. When you forget something, its significance diminishes. When you love someone, you can get them off your mind, right? Like, for example, Ahmad doesn't have to put a reminder on his phone to think of Sarah. For example, if Ahmad loves Sarah, he doesn't have to force himself to remember her. It's a natural part of love, right? And more you remember something, the more important it becomes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اذكروا الله ذكرا كثيرا. This is one of the mistakes we make, is that we remember Allah every once in a while. You know, this is a mistake that even practicing people make. Even religious people might make. Even like a good person is that we might remember Allah